Okay. Yep, we're here. Alrighty. So, how we going, everybody? We are
Good,
here
good.
with
Hey,
Fraser,
going good.
Hello, it's me.
Charlie,
Hello, hello.
and Sam.
Hello.
Uh, so again from last week, Charlie and Sam come back from last week, which is great. So,
Thanks for having us again.
yeah, no problem.
Be
No
back.
problem. It's good to have good to have you guys as well. So, also, you're both very much in the technical space as well, which is kind of good.
Yes.
Fraser being
Yeah.
focused on design, and I'm
Mm.
kind of halfway between design and technical. But that's I think when you have dedicated technical people, it's kind of good. So
I like to suffer.
you like the pain. You like the pain.
Yeah, that's it. It is pain.
Mm.
That's for sure.
I think it's all pain. That's kind of how it works. That's yeah. That's hang on, what's going on here? Yeah, there we go. Cool. So yeah, gonna look at a couple of things today. We're gonna play through. Do you want to maybe introduce? We're going to talk about Arvo. We're going to have a look at the next version of Arvo, which is
Yeah.
Fraser's game that he's developing with Gemma as well. Gemma, sorry.
Mhm.
Then we're going to talk about something kind of interesting, which is optimization, particularly in regards to Unreal Engine. Because I was talking about Unreal Engine last week and saying that one of the bad things about Unreal Engine is that pretty much anyone can create a game now without really almost even no skills, which means you've got a lot of games out there with created by people, and I'd like to support that. I don't want to be negative about that because I think it's really good that people have the power to do things. But with 18,000 games on Steam, and we're going to look at today sort of this optimization element, which is really important. So we'll talk about that, and then we'll probably play through Charlie your game from Capstone Project. Remind us what that one is.
Yeah, if we got the time, the Cafe Tactics. It's a strategy click-based sort of management of a cafe. I played it last week after we chatted about it, and it is very chaotic. There's a lot of stuff that I would change now, but
That's
fun
good.
experience.
Yeah. I mean, look, we can talk about the design elements as well, which would be really good, and what maybe you do different if you were to redo it now. So I think Charlie, you're going to play Arvo, yeah?
Yep. Yeah, I've got it up here. Just making sure. Is there volume in the main menu? I feel like I'm not getting volume.
Once you get into the game, there'll be
Okay, cool.
a settings
Cool.
menu. Yeah.
All right. Well, I've got my
It's
mix
on the
open
list.
anyway. I can turn it down or up if it needs to. All right, I'll start sharing.
But yeah, so we've talked about it pretty consistently through the year. The development going on Arvo, and then most recently applying for a second round of Screen Australia funding. And so this is the playable prototype that Gemini submitted to that last week.
Do you want
Awesome.
to just give us a little bit about that experience, maybe? I don't know whether is there anything you want to say
About
that?
like the specific application experience?
Well, there's people out there who've never gone for a grant or anything before, so maybe just talk about what it is and the
Yeah.
experience.
So
of
it's
doing
a through and through grant in the sense that they're not looking. It's through the government, so through Screen Australia. They're not looking for a return, or like to be paid back for the money that they're investing. They are looking for games that are viable and can sort of turn a profit. But yeah, so it's been interesting in the sense that a lot of the pitching that I was learning and practicing at uni has been quite different to the process of pitching for the Screen Australia grant,
Oh, tell
and-
me more. Tell me more.
in the sense that the Screen Australia has some quite specific outlines in regards to what they're looking for in pitch material and what areas you need to cover, and then much fewer outlines sort of to direct how it should be done. So my natural instinct for pitching would be if it's an elevator pitch, to sort of make an emotional connection and then give just enough information to get people excited, and to buy into the idea, but without overloading them or, becoming boring. But in this, it's like, well, you don't have to worry about getting them to buy in because they're obligated to, commit some certain amount of attention to your pitch.
Mhm.
And then they kind of have other criteria that they're looking for specifically. Like, they're very keen on accessibility and inclusion, but also things like any potential cultural relevance or sort of creative merit. So, yeah, just a bit different, and in the sense where I'm like, I'm quite proud of our application and Prototype 2 specifically,
Cool.
but I don't know if we pitched it very well because it was a very unique type of pitching that I haven't really done before.
So I guess it's important to take note that you are pitching to a government grant giving organization, rather than a private investor or publisher. So there's quite a bit of difference between those two, what those two types of pitches might be. I think, as you pointed out, there's particular things they're very interested in, and they, quite likely will be linked with, say, government policy. That's where the money comes from. The government are the ones who are, the government's trying to push a certain, they're trying to get certain things up in place, and they have certain policies in place. So so that obviously frames what you're doing as well, which may be very different if you're doing like if you were pitching someone who was more interested in, hey, this has just got to make money, I don't really care about government policy things. It's really just, or even if a publisher may be a little bit different. If you're pitching to a publisher, you might have to focus on, say, the type of games that they're interested in. So if it was like maybe narrative-based games, you'd focus on the narrative. So I just want to sort of add that in there. So being a government organisation, obviously that's a specific has specific needs.
They also have some strict sort of do not approach areas, specifically around like gambling, drug use, and sort of they're very clear on the website and in the application. They're not. You're gonna get kicked out pretty quick if you're sort of promoting that. So, where it might be a bit more lenient or even desirable for some sort of private groups.
Well, I guess that goes in hand with the government sort of agendas of they don't want to be promoting chaos and anarchy through drug use and stuff like that. So that's fair enough.
And I think especially with the sort of loot box legislation that came in over the past few years, I think that's been a bit of a hot topic. Hot topic to the government, so a few years old for the industry.
Yeah. I wonder if do you know if Screen Australia has like a short list of projects that they are and have funded? It'd be interesting to look what projects they do fund.
Yeah, they do. I haven't. It feels silly. I haven't had a good chance to look into it, but I know Luke Muscat, his new game, which is like a strange sort of golfing experience, has been funded, and I also know Later Skater, who I found on Instagram. It's like a 3D parkour movement third-person game where you're on skates and you have to sort of get through levels and parkour and defeat bosses. I know those are two examples.
We could.
They're very.
Could have a look at that
which
list
is
next
cool.
week. Could be quite interesting to go through that next week. Cool. Nice. So, was it a good experience? Was it a fun experience?
It, at the very least, is a very clear goal with very tangible outcomes and a good set of outlines, which, as someone who, is just outside of uni, was a very sort of welcome framework to sort of staple onto my now freelance, or not freelance, but self-employed work. That's
a good point. Having those goals, having that that structure to use to something to aim for. Yeah, for sure. I think that makes a very big difference. Gets you out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When the deadline is looming and you've got, a
Right.
list of 20 odd jobs that need to be done, it's like, well, I know what I need to do and I know when it needs to be done by.
Yep. So time to get up out of bed and get some work done. Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. For sure. What else are that, what else gets you out of bed, I mean, that sort of structure could be really good.
Yeah, yeah. But should we get into
Let's
some
go.
of the gameplay?
Charlie.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love the
All right.
I love the colors. I love the blue.
I was very
elements.
adamant to Gemma that our sunset sets should have every color of the rainbow. As a photographer, that's one of the things
Mm,
I sort of realized. I was like, oh wow, you can really pick out like every hue there.
mm.
And so yeah, that was one of the
Yeah,
first
good
things.
choice.
Mellow.
It definitely, like, straight away, it screams, Australian with the Ute sunset outback setting. Just a note when you were saying that the Screen Australia do look for sort of cultural things, a representation. So that's definitely a plus there.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
And
been
it's
one
just,
of
yeah,
our
visually
go-tos.
striking and nice.
Yeah, cheers.
All right, we'll get to it. Play.
Hey.
Ooh, all right. And is there sound coming through?
We've got almost no sound or sound
Okay.
effects in. There's one sound effect that can get a bit loud when you destroy an enemy, but otherwise it's
Alright.
been low priority.
Okay, so I've dropped in a room. There is something there. Card only. Little sad machine. And someone at the counter. Hey, mate, what's going on? Whoa, hey, mate. Haven't seen you around here before, so I'm guessing you're new. I know things are confusing, so I can give you the rundown if you'd like. Don't even speak, just nod your head.
Might need to go a little more dramatic. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, cool. All right. Just give him a real massive nod. Alrighty, you're in the exclusion zone, along with the rest of us, the inhabitants, right? We get newbies like you roll in every now and then, and although we didn't think there'd be any more, but that doesn't matter. You're here now. Cool. Look out for each other here, yeah? We're a proper community. Do right by us, and we'll do right by you too. What's his name? BG Bill.
Yeah.
Nice. Bubblegum Bill?
hmm
Okay, I see you looking at me funny. How's about you get your bearings, then come speak to me again? All right, my bearings. So I'm in a shop. I did forget to read the synopsis of this game, so should I be aware of anything, or should I just let the game sort of guide me?
Hopefully it should be quite intuitive.
Alright.
But I mean,
So
I'm
I'm
here
getting
for
up,
support.
Yeah, I'm picking up. I'm starting some kind of job. I'm out in some exclusion zone, he said, but we'll figure it out. Got any snacks? No, that's okay. What's your name? Clarence. Oh, Clarence, you don't look like you need snacks. You look mechanical. Can I go outside? Got some nice textures on those tables. Guess I'll try the stuffed door. Nope. Alright, I think I've got my bearings, Bill. How about you do us a favor and pass these cleaning supplies to Clarence? Well, alright. Mouse button to click. Cool.
Mhm.
Hey, Clarence. Thanks for these. Bill will really do anything to avoid taking even a few steps. Hey, what do you reckon? Do these shelves look clean enough to you? Not really. No. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so either. Seems like Bill is waving you over. You better see what he's up to.
Is that like the self-serve checkout?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, the card
It's
only.
like
Yeah.
out of the baggage area.
All right. Seeing you move like that makes me think you're keen to stretch your legs. Yeah, it's a big world out there and plenty to see, Rather than wandering aimless, why don't you take this over to our mate Cyan? It's a bit of a walk out the left and down the road, but you'll see their house tucked into the hill there. Okay. Oh wait, Impulse has that old ute out the front. You can take that. Do you know how to drive manual? Yes. Brilliant. You should be no problem for you then. Should have I said no to get like an actual tutorial? Anyway,
No tutorial. It's just more a slightly different dialogue line afterwards.
Alrighty. Specs. Whoa, that box is way bigger than I expected. The
Yeah, there's not many like
perspective.
depth indicators, huh?
Yeah, it made me thought it was way smaller. Okay. Yeah, beautiful colors.
Mm.
All right. Let's drive.
There's the car has been a particular sore spot, but I won't get too into that. Driving, you got your W for accelerate, space
Oops.
for brake, and S for reverse.
That's for, yep.
You've
that
also
makes
got
sense.
your num keys above like WASD to select different gears.
So that's the gears. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
each
good.
gear only has a specific sort of speed range, so it's to try and encourage you to be very mindful about what gear you're in while you're driving.
All right. Okay, I'm getting this.
And if you follow these Stoby poles, they'll take you over to
Oh no.
where you need to go.
Okay.
roughly.
Oh, you stole
Oh,
it.
this is. Yeah, I did. Wait, we're gonna go up. No, he said over by the hill. So this way. So
Yeah.
first- Oh, okay, that's a bit of a pain point. I do really want to be able to change the gear without taking. Actually, no, that's how it works in real life. I was just saying, about to say, I can't change gear while I'm accelerating. Oh no, go down.
Charlie, I have to ask, can you drive a manual?
Oh, yes, I can, but I don't do it with my fingers. I do it with hands and fingers. I gotta multiple. Actually, I'm gonna use two hands for this. This might be. Oh no, my package fell out.
Oh,
Get back in
foreshadowing.
there.
Foreshadowing there.
So you did seem to pick up that you need to come off the accelerator pretty quickly. I forgot to include that in the
Whoa, whoa.
brief description. Yeah, the car we've been working off of the chaos physics, Unreal sort of default,
Whoa.
and
Yep.
it's been nothing but pain. We're both designers, so it's been a bit
Yeah,
of a learning
I
curve
can
for
tell
us.
you now that no Ute in the world has a turning circle this.
Yeah,
this
right.
good. It's like
It
the
was
video
either
flies away.
crazy turning circle and weird like braking, or the car can do like 350 k's an hour with no problem. And it was like, well, our map feels like 5 meters long if you go that fast. So
Yeah, right. Well, it does. Like the driving and changing gears actually feels good. Once I sort of figured out what to do there, it is just that turning circle that was really throwing
Yeah.
me off. Probably would work a lot better if I had like a stick, so I could, put lower inputs in. Whoa, is this where I'm going? Is that what is that? Whoa, this is who I'm after. All right. Say, if you came from the servo, did you happen to run into some glowing red critters? Oh, I was too focused on changing gears. Did I? I call them viruses. They are unique to the other cryptids I've studied, as they seem to draw power or be manifested from the digital field. It's intriguing. But thanks to you, with these binoculars, I will be able to learn more about them. I think payment is due, don't you? Yeah, for me? Yes. Yes! Yes, it's important to know your worth. All right, here, take these bits, head back to the servo, and Bill will show you what you can do with them. This?
Mhm.
Oops, okay, hold. Do you want to say something else to me? You gotta... No. Oh, okay, there it goes.
I like the Stoby poles.
Thank you.
Reminds
That's-
me of our great state.
Exactly. One of the
What are
requirements.
these? What are we talking about?
So in SA, we don't have like round telephone poles. We have Stoby poles, which are like two I-beam
The ones on the
steel
left. here.
with concrete in the middle. Yeah, the ones on the
Oh,
left.
so they're true to state then. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah,
And are they that short on top as well? Oh, no, come on.
they can be. Maybe I went a little too short with it, but they can come in like all different sorts of sizes. It looks like they just kind of scale them up and down in real life. So I'm like, sick. I'll just do that in the game.
Yeah, that's easy for game translation.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
All right, look at me, top speed. Yes. All right, I'm gonna try and do a sweet spin around and park. Uh-oh. Oh, no, there we go, saved it. Okay.
Your Uber has arrived.
Yeah. All right, my bits, whatever this thing is. Got some bits for you, Bill. Got some bits there. Yep. Go ahead and give them to Impulse. They're just in the workshop. They might seem a bit intimidating at first, but they're real nice once you get to know them. Maybe after that you should go look for Clarence. I think he wanted help with something or other at the lighthouse. Guess this is the shed. Whoa. All right. Cool character placeholders.
Yeah, we not a lot of time for a lot of 3D modeling.
I can certainly see,
Yeah.
like, you look at that, and I could just imagine those, I don't know, they tentacles at the top, sort of moving around, and I mean that would look
Yeah.
incredible. That'd look amazing.
I can definitely see all these
Cool.
pipes, like, coming from all the bits of the shed and like he's integrated into it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that
All
comes
right.
across.
Hi, you're the one who's been driving the Utes, right? I fixed right, upright is the Okay, this is intentional.
Mm.
Finally, there is someone who can drive it. It's been untouched for too long. You've got some bits too. I bet you're here to cash them in. I can make the Ute even better once you bring me more. I'm imagining sort of like digital speak
Mhm.
kind of bits. Yeah. Just leave the bits on the bench behind me for now, and I'll keep track of it for you. There's probably some more people around that could use a hand in exchange for some bits. All right. Bits. Oh, that was 38? That's a good bit. All right. Don't know what I need bits for, but I know I want more of them.
Mm.
Let's go.
It's an in-game currency, mate. You've got to get more of them.
Exactly.
Can you buy bits? Is there a
Yeah,
store
can I
that allows you to
purchase
buy
Sign up
bits?
to our digital trading platform to buy more bits directly. Yeah, that's the main gist. There's Clarence is existing at a few different locations, and you can sort of like get into a little quest loop if you keep finding him and delivering stuff for him, relying on what we had for prototype 1. There's also bits sort of hidden around the map. It's sort of trying to get enough stuff in to sort of communicate what we're going for in the future. So bits will add upgrades to the Ute to make you go faster or handle better or give you like a trailer or stuff like that. But then otherwise it's sort of mostly about exploring, finding hidden things and characters and exploring the narrative.
Yeah, cool. Have you I haven't played it, but it's been on my radar for a bit. What's it called? Pacific Drive?
I have. I
'Cause-
love
'cause
the look.
Yeah, I've thought it was such a unique idea where the player character is essentially like a car.
Mm,
And this immediately, is a similar sort of vein where would be quite unique in the sense that, you're not just the character upgrading your physical abilities,
mm.
like you're upgrading your vehicle to move around.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about being able to upgrade character abilities. It's been, I guess, I should probably say, I love the look of Pacific Drive, but I get way too anxious playing it. So-
Yeah, it seems stressful, yeah.
It really got to me, which was so unfortunate because I was watching some of the development, and when it came out, I was like, yeah, this looks sick. But yeah, no, there's a lot of inspiration for choices. Like, you picked up on the digital nature of Impulse. They're meant to be one of the more digital characters. I'm drawing heavily on sort of controls and remedies, sort of approach to shared belief and sort of mythos and sort of the power of the collective unconscious. So there's this idea that the robots are hanging around, and they're sort of want to reward the player as creating the bits, which are just this digital manifestation, and Impulse is seen as sort of the fixer-upper, the mechanic, and so only they can sort of make those improvements.
Please mind the grass. What grass?
There's definitely no grass here. Oh, actually, yes, there is. I see. Is the I think what what I really want to see is like a little more on the story, like the world that you're trying to build here.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
why is there these detailed characters? I get that I've gotten a job and I'm in sort of a strange, exclusion zone, I think you called it.
Mhm.
But what is the exclusion zone? What are the dangers? Is this a high risk job where I've accepted, or is this just sort of standard of this world?
Yeah, we've got a lot of that sort of lore and story planned out. It's just been one of those issues where, I could spend days fleshing out the story, and especially because a lot of like the environmental story we want to tell through sort of not hidden dialogue, but like sort of secret areas and environmental storytelling and like very classic gameplay like documents that you can pick up and read. And so it's it's sort of that battle between like, well, I've put in a couple jobs with dialogue to show that that's the plan, but the driving still feels pretty awkward. And so it's like trying to balance that.
On your base mechanic first before.
But I'm glad it's intriguing. I mean, it'd probably be pretty bad if you were like, yeah, I don't really care for the story.
Yeah, well,
And we
I will
tend
say
to-
I'm definitely your target market for this kind of game. Like, I love big open spaces, a bit of a mystery, performing, weird tasks as well. Something a bit more thoughtful
Yeah.
rather than
We've
sort of
got
and explorative rather than just progress or task based. Like before, earlier when I got to that other side of the map over there where I'm looking now and turned around and just saw the sunset, I was like, damn, that's a good view. And I can imagine in a fully built world, I'd probably sit there for another minute just having a look and admiring the artistry.
Yeah, 100%. That's what we're going for. So hopefully we can deliver.
Yeah, cool. Well, I like the base. Oh, what's around? Have I been around over here? There's still somewhere I haven't been.
There's a quarry and a lighthouse just around, if you follow this road now, around the hill. That was sort of the starting location for Prototype 1, but it sort of started to get a lot of, baggage from continual development in the space, and so for 2, we didn't have enough time to restart the whole map, so I just moved the starting area over there and left this as an area that could be explored.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
But it's been a big departure. A lot of my level design experience has been with more interior spaces, and even just my like design understanding through like wayfinding and stuff has all been about interiors. So starting this project and being like, it's open world, like outdoors, I was like, oh wait, this is really different.
It is a whole different design, isn't it? Like, to account for, because you really don't know where people are going to go. And I guess the big obvious one is just relying on and I think the latest Zeldas did it best, just like relying on massive landmarks, something that catches the user eye, and you go, "Ooh, what's that?" And then obviously there's going to be some quests and stuff over there to do, but that's just what draws the player in. But you never know where a player's going to go, I feel like. We're all too random.
I'd be very interested in the way the Yakuza games are designed, because I started playing them last year. I'm up to end of Yakuza Kiwami 2, I think.
Yeah, is that open world? I've never played them. A friend of mine does, and he says they're amazing, but I haven't got around to it.
So it's like, it's a cityscape designed for on foot travel. So I guess it is open world, but maybe not the scale we're sort of used to with a lot of modern open world stuff. But what I love about it is the open world is almost entirely free to explore, and you'll find sort of side missions and stuff. Oh, it's under. You'll find side missions and stuff, but not all the side missions won't be unlocked immediately. You have to progress through the main story to unlock more side missions and go to some like unique locations. But also the way the main story is designed, it sort of helps tour you around the city and sort of spend more time in each location rather than just sort of pass through.
Can you
And
get
so-
out and pat one of those things, Charlie?
I don't know. They look pretty fiery.
Ah, come on.
This one seems nice. He's just lying down.
Can you throw them?
Yeah. So there's if you press F while you're
Oh.
holding an object, you can throw. I think we still have the like physics bug where if you're moving the camera and throw, you can add a bunch of velocity.
Ooh, that's nice. Let's
It's
try it.
it's that fun balance of like we don't want the physics to be like obviously broken, but you don't want to make physics boring by patching it out.
What happened?
Oh no, we got a despawn.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a very hacky way for me to have them spawn and despawn. They're just a volume that they can only exist within.
Alright, well, I'll have to throw my bit then. Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that go.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's great. Oh, jeez.
That's 6 for sure, right?
That's actually fun. I would argue to say keep stuff like that in for sure.
Mhm,
Hmm.
mhm.
Because it feels like you're giving it that bit of extra, run up or
Yeah.
something.
But it's not so easy as to just like spin the turn your DPI up to 64,000 and just spin.
So is that pretty much the full?
Yeah,
map
I mean,
we've seen? Yeah,
For
okay.
anyone who is watching or finds the VOD and thinks it's interesting, it's up on itch. It's chronoboros.itch.io/arvo. There is more to find. There are secrets hidden sort of all over the map. A lot of bits hidden around, but Clarence is in a few odd locations as well. But yeah, there's a bit more there. But that's the main gist, the main sort of gameplay loop and all of that.
I would. One of the things I'd say, I think there's a bit of a challenge in meshing together the sort of parts where you're walking, and then sort of compared to the driving parts, because obviously where you're driving is really big and expansive. But it can feel kind of empty. I guess that's one of the things. If I was to give you sort of any sort of constructive criticism on this one,
Yeah.
it just feels a little bit empty, and I'm not quite sure. I know that can be true to form for if you're out on the Nullarbor Plain. It definitely feels empty.
Yeah.
But I kind of think that I don't know. I'm not quite sure how you'd.
I think
what the
I'm
solution
hoping
might be.
when the driving is a bit better and we rework the active shift mechanic, there'll be this sort of what is going on?
It's a stair. It's a
That's-
stairway, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, you should be able to jump up it. It looks like you're sliding off.
Yeah, I think there might be an invisible collider right here where I'm circling. Because I can't
That
seem to get closer there.
Is strange. That worked last time I tested it.
Oh.
That's
man.
always the
Not
way.
today.
Oh, it's such a tease. Oh, I think I made it. I
Oh,
made it. All right. Much jumping, much perseverance.
I am very grateful. That should have been far easier. No, but to your point, Chris, about how's it engaging in those long stretches. My hope is that when the perfect shift or the active shift mechanic is reworked, once you have points in the back, you'll be incentivized to make detours, take jumps, run into enemies, drive more recklessly, because those things will give you more points. And so the hope is that if you're, the player's desire to get more money, to get more points, will sort of drive them to be more reckless, which will make them more engaged in the gameplay loop of, near misses and whatnot, and getting better at driving. Huh.
I would
What?
be inclined to have a look at how some other games do it, some other driving games
Yep.
as well. Definitely check.
Yeah,
'Cause
I will
think-
go.
Yeah.
Sorry, you continue, then I'll say my piece.
Oh, I was just sort of saying. I think the
no.
broken leg. Oh no, no fall damage.
No fall damage.
I think maybe there are probably some solutions to the sort of feeling of kind of emptiness that I have at the moment, which I can't really think of. I'd be, if I was sort of doing this, I'd be sort of looking at how some other games handle these big open world sections and make them feel like at the moment there's not that much to kind of look at. I can't think of the solution or exactly why. But if I think of other games like Death Stranding as an example, the sections of what am I thinking of Borderlands 2 where you do driving and stuff, somehow they make it feel like, I don't know, it's different. So I just suggest doing a little bit of sort of looking around, researching, checking what other things do, and see if you can get there's some inspiration. You can say, that's a sort of thing.
I do feel that like vastness and loneliness is part of like specific design for sure, but you're absolutely right. Like you got to do it sort of well, so it doesn't just become boring.
Yeah.
But I am a big fan of emptiness in games. But that's just me, and I don't think that's a very common.
But don't forget as well that you need to keep in mind. Number one, you should be doing that deliberately if that's what you're going for.
Yep.
But also the way to get that is to have the contrast between the two. So you have that compression and then that vastness as well. So going from the sort of even these like small these type of environments, then going out to that sort of vast expanse. I think there's something here. I have a feeling if you work out what it is, you're going to be able to work with it really well. But I can't. I'm not entirely sure what it is. So I think playing around with it is something to do. Yeah.
I will say too, with the driving, I found it took like 95% of my brain power to get to sort of operate it, I guess. So I wasn't really looking where I was going a lot of the times. And I would probably even consider making like a more sort of streamlined version of that. Like maybe there's just a shift up and a shift down button. But also I'm aware of like, creating a skill system that's actually fun to do when because by the end of it, it's fun to get that perfect shift up and press the right gear. Or accidentally, hit the second gear when I'm trying to go into fourth, and then it screws me up completely. Like, that's also really good. But maybe there needs to be like car types or something, and you start with an easier vehicle to get you driving, like a semi-automatic or something. Because that did take away from my actual exploration. Because I was, like I said, I was looking directly at the gauge in the corner, not where I was going.
Can you
guys
look around to the right? Can you look around to the right, Charlie? Sorry.
How right?
Keep going.
Keep going down here.
Okay, I'm just so. What was? Are we not seeing? Is something? Is there something not loaded in there? Was there something on that? Is there a lot or something that should be loading in?
No.
No.
That's just a
I thought there was
job for the.
I thought there was a building there. Sorry, my bad. That's okay.
No, you're good.
I thought maybe there's a lot that's just not, hasn't been loading in.
No. That's too advanced for my poor designer brain.
Well, we're actually
dedicate some time to learning LODs.
We're about to go in and talk about stuff like. Well, in fact, open world games is one of the ones. So
the main one that needs it.
Yeah. So we haven't been looking at what sort of frames you're getting, Charlie? Do you know? You able to,
no, I do not know. I usually have my frame counter on Steam games, but I don't know how to do that otherwise.
Oh, okay. So we're not too sure.
Feels nice and smooth though. There's definitely no lag.
Oh, that's good.
You've clearly optimized this Unreal Engine game.
So that's what we're going to talk about now. Is there anything else you guys wanted to say about this iteration of Arvo?
I reckon maybe with the gear counter, could shift it so it's more central to the player's eye.
Yeah, that's not a bad point. I
I think
remember.
that could even be it. Then it keeps your eye on the road as well.
Yeah, I remember that being like a big conversation about how good Breath of the Wild's sort of stamina wheel is, right? That's a good, yeah, I appreciate that. I think also, yeah, your point about having like an up and a down shift rather than specific selector. It's a conversation that Gemma and I have had. Gemma's quite keen on it. I've been sort of the stubborn holdout for for what we have, but yeah, I think in my head it's definitely that dilemma of, you know, like you don't want to make it so easy that people get bored of it for
Yeah,
sort of how long you expect them to
and
play,
people
but you
always
don't want
choose
people.
the easier option,
Yeah.
usually as well. So if you have the option of either or,
But yeah, like you said, like just like yeah, having the option and being able to provide, you know, benefits to the harder option to reward players for taking that risk. That's sort of been the, you know, the whole motto for the game is, you know.
yeah, I think there's a few
Feeling-
key things you could definitely design into that. Like the full manual could have higher top speeds, maybe a quicker, like higher horsepower to get faster, you know, quicker as long as provided you can perform the gear shifts. Like there's definitely rewards you can easily throw in to incentivize people to try it.
And I
So
think
you
I
able-
think
The
I think
feedbacks.
culturally you should be able to fully pimp out your ute with all the RM Williams stuff. You know, I mean, you guys live
Bunch.
in regional Australia. You know what it's like.
I'm thinking a lot of
I can take
stickers on
some
the.
photos of friends' utes and send it to you as reference.
Where do you see a ute that doesn't have like all sorts of, you know, a 6-foot aerial and horns and all sorts of stuff all over it? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if you want
four
that
sets of
cultural
LED
stuff,
lights.
yeah, if you want that
Yeah.
cultural stuff, the Australian sort of cultural stuff, you should go for that.
Yeah.
When you upgrade the suspension, just lift the car up from the wheels.
Got their like super lift kit on this one.
Yeah, you got to get the massive bull bar on the front too. That sort of weighs the front down.
And an obligatory snorkel for the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Even
no
though it's
water.
in the desert.
Never know, flash flooding.
yeah.
The old rhubarb. All right, let's maybe jump into some optimization, guys.
Yeah.
All right,
So
Thanks for playing. as well.
that was good fun. The physics system is nice. I'm sure, is that just the base Unreal one? Yep,
Tempted
fun to
to
play.
open it up and just see if you can fly using the physics.
Yeah, Gemma was found a flying bug with the boxes, but that's the only one we've sort of addressed. So I'm sure there's knowing Unreal physics is probably another dozen ways to do it.
Yeah.
all right, so I'm gonna share my screen and we're just gonna look at the first couple of minutes of this. So this is Legacy Killer HD. This is a YouTuber that I listen to occasionally. He does some good stuff, and this came up just within the last week, so 5 days ago. And we were talking last time about how the impact of Unreal, that Unreal Engine has had on games overall. So it's really it's Unreal Engine 5 in particular. I was saying it's given everybody the ability to make their own games, and that's interesting. That has some positive and some less than positive elements to it. And I think this one comes up. We're going to look at the first couple of minutes, and then we're going to talk about, I guess, some of the issues. So we'll give this a couple of minutes.
Various complaints
Oh,
about
yeah.
UE. Why are we not optimizing these games properly and promoting the use of FrameGen and or upscaling to fix the issue rather than making it an accessible feature if needed? Had a lot of fun and loved the story until now, but it's really badly optimized and has the usual Unreal Engine problems. The game is barely playable upon the release due to performance issues, poor optimization, which is sadly a standard now, random stutters, and frames per second drops down to single-digit levels, which can only be fixed by a restart. Frequent Unreal Engine 5 crashes followed by shaders compiling every time you launch the game. Absolutely terrible, just awful, a disaster. I can't tell if it's bad luck, overconfidence, or Unreal Engine's fault, but whatever it is, it's a mess. Unreal, get it among of stuttering, crashing, and terrible optimization, but it's okay because nostalgia. I have two problems with this game, otherwise it's a good game / remaster. One, Unreal Engine sucks, bad performance and crashes, even though my PC is better than the recommended specs. From what I've played, it's pretty good. The original is my favorite game, and this should be an easy recommend, but wow, this PC port is bad. Unreal Engine 5 continues to prove itself as the worst optimized modern graphics engine. And lastly, we are in 2025 and the game doesn't support ultra-wide monitor and another UE5 game with bad optimization. Now, some of you may have been able to put the pieces together, but of all of these, complaints that I just went over, these are for all different experiences that have released in the last year. The big similarity between all these remarks is the fact that these were complaints all made of Unreal Engine 5 games. This has become a prevalent issue. This is something that a lot of people have been talking about the last number of months. It's the fact, is Unreal Engine 5 truly ruining modern gaming? And this is...
So, is Unreal Engine 5 truly ruining modern gaming? I'll throw it to you guys. Any thoughts on that?
I think no. I think the accessibility to everyone is like both a good and a bad thing, just as you were saying before we watched that segment. And it kind of, the video goes on to explain it, I'm pretty sure, but it's the amount of people who are sort of inexperienced in optimizing games and using an engine like this that are just sort of put on the back burner. So I feel like it's an easy target to look at because the shift in the professional industry is all these big studios are going to Unreal Engine 5. And so a lot of the games are getting that UE5 feel, like an Unreal game when you see it, but and leaving their proprietary engines and stuff behind. But it does seem like, a lot of the optimizations are sort of being, still learned at this point. And then the people who are just getting into the games industry and trying out have no idea about the optimizations. So there's both engine and user things that could be done to better it, I guess.
Sam, what are your thoughts?
I think it's a bit sad that because different engines have different sort of feels and looks to them, so we're missing something when we just put all our eggs in either 2 or 3 baskets with Unity, Unreal, and I think Godot to a lesser extent these days. Because the past few years, the biggest, or some of the more successful games have been made with custom engines, like Larian's Baldur's Gate 3 and Kingdom Come Deliverance, which that's done using the Crytek engine, which Crysis was originally made on, and the original Far Cry. I think what we get is the same sort of lighting and shadow aesthetic, which it looks visually impressive in the Unreal Engine, but I think it does come at a cost of unique identity, and of course people still have to learn to adjust their development processes because of that.
Kind of like it's the homogenization of games as a whole if we all keep using the same process to do it. Just as you say, we don't keep those those nice unique things that are present in different engines.
Fraser, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts, I guess it seems like another symptom of games being products of entertainment. It feels like there is not enough time for devs to optimize the games before they have to be released. And I suppose you could make an argument that with better documentation or, using a proprietary engine instead of Unreal, that wouldn't be an issue. But it feels like a symptom of money and time being taken away for whatever the cheapest option is, essentially.
Yeah, one of the things I want to point out, and pretty much in line with what you're saying, is these are not small team indie games we're talking about here. These are AAA and AA titles. Metal Gear Solid, the latest remake of Metal Gear Solid. Stalker 2, yeah, I mean, that was kind of indie, but I mean, pretty big indie. Silent Hill 2, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, like, what the hell? These studios should know better. I think what's actually happening with these studios is you get in the execs. Again, it's all the execs' fault. We know the execs are just useless, money counters. They see the Unreal Engine 5 and they think, oh yeah, we can just get this, and we can get rid of a lot of our technical staff. We only need to keep this stuff, and we can do it all within a certain amount of time, without the overhead. So we'll get rid of our old engine. We'll get a new engine in. We'll get the Unreal 5 engine in, but they don't give enough time. They don't realise the work that's involved. So with what you're saying, Fraser, about time and money, I mean, I think very much it does come down to that. In these instances, with these particularly AAA and more experienced, even indie studios who were using their own engine, and they're not leaving time. They're not building in the optimization of these games that they're creating, and they should know better. I mean, any of the technical staff would know better, surely.
Yeah.
I think scrolling the comments of this video, I saw a few technically minded people who have worked in the field say very similar things. Like it's just like a lot of people have just been fired or let go and replaced with juniors who will, more than happy to do it, but just don't know the engine so well or what really needs to be considered, I guess.
Well, I love this top one here. I don't know whether you can see it, but this is the top one here. Optimization is a lost art. They rely. Is that supposed to rely on those out-of-the-box solutions rather than hiring someone that knows what the F they're doing? So, I think that's actually true. Particularly, look, when I've taught. Sorry, Sam, do you want to say something?
Yeah, the Ship of Theseus comes to mind, actually.
I haven't played that one.
When you have all your old staff in a company and they've all sort of left for greener pastures, I mean, you've still got the same ship, but it's piloted by a completely different crew.
Well, have you? That's actually an interesting question. I think in the games industry, that's a big one. If everyone's gone, is that still the same ship?
Yeah. I think it's very symptomatic of what we're seeing at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, Fraser?
No, I agree. I think it reminds me of when we were talking about slot games a couple months ago, in the sense that, how do I word this? There's this weird, maybe not weird, but like there's been a trend for ages now in games where especially AAA want to look photorealistic, and I don't know now. I'm losing. I should have written the point down when I thought of it earlier today, but yeah, it's just it seems like there's this like industry sort of accepted standard that Unreal Engine 5 is the new thing and the default and what should be used, and there's maybe less thought being put into stylizing a game more. Like it seems the argument that I heard brought up in this, where it's like, all the Unreal games look the same. It's like, yeah, of course, but like if you're not making an active choice to make a game that looks or feels different, then of course it's going to look the same because you're using the same engine.
Absolutely. I remember this is not an Unreal Engine game, but this is a Unity game. But I remember a few years ago when Green Hell came out. Remember Green Hell? Anyone played that?
Yeah, Green Hell.
An amazing looking game, and I was thinking, that's incredible. That's got to have been made in the CryEngine. It looked so good. I'm like, that's a CryEngine game, and I checked it out, and it's a Unity game. But what they've
Yeah.
done, they had put so much effort into the look and feel and the rendering of that game that it had the look and it worked. It worked really well, you know. And I think that's one of the problems that we have is that people are taking out of the box solutions, and they're not making them their own. They're just using the default lighting, the default, Lumen and Nanite, and oh yeah, just turn it all on, turn everything up to 11, and yeah, fantastic. You need a 4090 to run the thing, and it still runs at 15 frames a second. But that seems to be a fairly common approach at the moment.
Yeah. Was the Green Hell team? That was a pretty small team, wasn't it?
Oh, I think it was fairly
you know?
small indie, fairly small.
Yeah.
Indie. But you can tell when a game has some really talented technical people on the team, when they really understand the lighting, when they really understand what's going on in the rendering pipeline. And look, the thing is, you've got to understand the maths. You've got to understand the low level sort of what's going on under the hood. Even in the graphics on the graphics card, you've got to know what what your buffers and everything are. You've got to know how to probably do a bit of HLSL, which no one really wants to do, sort of these days.
Looking at profile diagnostics and frame analysis.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, you need to go into that stuff, really, to sort of understand what's going on, and but you need to understand. You need to, or you can't do that unless you have an understanding of what's going on in the first place. And I guess people just don't so much anymore.
Yeah.
And I wonder why these bigger studios are losing that, that technical sort of ability.
They
who
cost
are the people
cost
that-
money. They cost
Yeah,
money.
There's
where
no
are those workers
immediate result.
going?
Yeah.
Are they just making their own indie games now, or
A lot of them, I think,
left
yeah.
completely?
I think a lot of them have left actually, and started their own studios.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what the market will look like in the next year or two, because there are some ex sort of Ubisoft and CD Projekt Red people working on their own titles. So it'll be cool to see what happens in those spaces.
Yeah, I think, and this is, every crisis has its silver lining, and this happened last time there was a major downturn in the games industry. But we're going through something, I don't know, it's kind of weird at the moment. But the games industry is a lot bigger than it was back in 2008 in the GFC. But what happened there is you had a whole lot of large companies. This is in Australia, particularly in Melbourne. We had a whole lot of very large companies here. Before that, I had trouble keeping students to the end of the degree because these large companies were so talent hungry, and they had so much work coming in. They would try and poach my students from the end of second year and stuff like that. Which the students were like, why do I need a degree when I've got a job? It's really hard to
Why isn't that
argue.
the case now?
Well, yeah, but the thing is, 2 years later, all those students had lost their jobs. All those companies had shut down, but okay, that was the bad side. But what came out of that was a really thriving indie scene in Melbourne that I knew about, and we had some really amazing games coming out of that. We had a whole lot of small studios starting up. Sure, a lot of them failed, but we had some some really, really good stuff coming out of that, and we're still sort of seeing that now. And so we're going through a similar thing, but this is more this is definitely worldwide, and it's on a different scale, so it's quite painful. But
Yeah.
I think there's still a silver lining.
Yeah, definitely. Like there's different sort of facets of the gaming industry now. Like you said, I remember a time when like you pick up the PC mag or Xbox magazine, and whatever's in that is the only game that's coming out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But there
Instead
is
of
these different sort
18,000 coming out on Steam, yeah.
Yeah. But there is these different avenues now, and I guess in my mind, when I look at these bigger studios, and this is sort of foregoing all the stuff we're just talking about, how they're actually not that great optimized. But I always see these bigger studios of like, okay, you're the AAA, you guys, your job is to like push technology to its limits, right? Like get those awesome graphics, get photorealism, go for it, do it. You've got hundreds of people. And then on the flip side, to me, the indie scene is where the stylization comes and the more interesting sort of mechanics sort of come out of. And I feel like that's just sort of the path that these are both going on right now. And I kind of like that, like each area to focus on a different thing. You know, it's easy to complain about one of these big games, you know, looking amazing, but the mechanics aren't that great. It's like, yeah, well, the making of photorealism and perfect animations and believable worlds it's a pretty mammoth task as well.
Very.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not excusing the games being badly optimized or anything, but I just think it's good, as you're saying. Like there is a shift to focus on all these indie games where we can, where people can really express themselves artistically in like interesting ways, and we don't have to like chase that photorealism or push technology to its limits. We just got to push our creativity to its limits.
Yes.
I think I like that point because I've been thinking about how like AAA for so long has felt like they're just trying to chase photorealism, but I'm like,
Yeah.
at some point you kind of did it. Like,
Yeah.
like how much more photoreal does it need to be? When do we go back to like full motion video?
Well,
And
Alan
so-
Wake 2, eh?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
Oh,
pretty much photorealistic, isn't it?
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, they also then spent a lot of time incorporating, you know, full motion video, like other mediums. It seems like, I don't know, I almost wonder if you're sort of just running away from games if you keep trying to chase photorealism. Like,
Oh yeah.
is that
we just making
part of the
movies
issue?
at this point?
Yeah, and it's like if you're continuing to try and push that, you're going to keep sort of, you know, increasing the minimum specs essentially. But then at the same time, you know, you're like, oh, but Unreal Engine 5 can do what it took, you know, a team of dozens, hundreds to make, you know, 5 years ago. And so yeah, you cut them. Nobody's left to optimize the game. You still want it to look photoreal. You've got nobody in house except for designers who are trying to make a fun level. I don't know.
Well, don't forget as well that Unreal Engine has been gunning for the film and TV industry for a very long time.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about photorealism, and they've got it, they've done it.
Yeah.
They had it a few years ago with Mandalorian. I mean, I think they really basically showed, you can make a full TV show with, you know, using the Unreal Engine, and it was successful.
Did they
So-
do their 3D work in Unreal Engine? I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
They did
okay.
more than that. The sets and everything were actually, a lot of them were, I don't know about all of them, but certainly a lot of them were virtual. They used I
The
think
big screens,
LED screens. Yeah, they actually performed in front of them and
the
filmed
circular
them.
ones. That's right. I saw a still of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
I think it got good enough to the point where people are now identifying those sets because actors can't walk around as far, rather than being like, oh, that looks like a 3D object, which is, you know,
Yeah.
like if the audience is scrutinizing it for something else, it's like, well, you've done it. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think the other thing in this video that I quickly wanted to bring up was they talked about, you know, there are games who have optimized Unreal Engine fine, and they used Expedition 33 as an example, and then went on to say, but you know, it isn't as heavily demanding compared to some of the open world titles that are built in it. And I just thought,
Something like Stalker,
isn't
yeah.
that part of optimization though? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
if you want photorealism, maybe you shouldn't want it in an open world game. Maybe it's smarter to do something like Alan Wake, where you have photorealism in these certain areas, you limit the scale, and you pivot to other things when you're looking for that stylization. Like, it felt like a bit of a cop-out. Like, somehow optimization always falls to the programmer who has to, I don't know what you all do, crunch numbers,
Just
and
make it
not,
work, yeah, exactly.
like a higher up or a designer to be like, hey, let's, you know, put a big old wall in this part of the environment so that we don't have to render
Very old
10,000
school.
trees into the horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. Yeah.
It's up
Sam?
to, you know, developers to, you know, optimize like the render calls, but it's also down to the level designers and artists
Yeah.
to deliver assets that don't have millions of triangles.
Yeah,
And I think
there
the
is an upper
director just
limit.
stepped
You know,
in.
there is an upper limit, and you need to
Yeah.
know. Even designers, I would say designers absolutely need to know the elements of the technical limitations of what they're dealing with. They don't have to stick with them all the time. I think that designers, game designers, should push those boundaries, but at the same time work with their engineers who are going to turn around and say, that's not going to work. We need to find a different solution, and then the designer can come up with a nice new solution to put a wall there or something and make it so we don't have to render millions of trees, in the background.
Or a
Yeah.
department head or a director who actually has the time and the energy to be able to coordinate those groups. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we got one more thing to do today, which I think is a nice contrast to what we're talking about. To what we're talking about right at the moment. Let me see if I got. My ad block's been updated. Is anyone else getting sick of these bloody? My ad block's been updated.
It's just like a background hum at this point. I could recognize it in my sleep, hit the X button. Thank you.
So we're going to actually play Charlie's game. Who is playing Charlie's game?
Who is?
I can volunteer. I can do that.
Fraser. Nice. So Fraser's going to play. Do you want to give us a little bit of a background, Charlie, to your game?
The background of the game is, hang on, I want to pull up each page and just read it out to you because it has been a while since I've really thought about it. Where is that link to? Sorry, one moment.
That's all right. I was looking for it as well.
Capstone Projects, here we go. Yeah, so it's I think the people I was working with, the idea was it was originally like they wanted sort of like a Final Fantasy Tactics-esque style game set in a cafe, because he and I were cafe workers at this time, living the chaotic life that can be.
Living the dream.
Living the dream, yeah. And moving that tactical sort of, decision-based thing into a cafe environment. What we ended up with, though, was something a lot less designed, I will say, and a lot more chaotic in the sense, and I think that really came out of, trying to design a sort of big system in a short amount of time and then have it as a finished product for our capstone subject at uni. It is.
So it was a 3-month project, so it wasn't really something, you weren't able to spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun to do, though. Like I said, you'll see in a sec. It came out really chaotic, but so to sort of mask that, I personally pushed for a lot more of the story elements, and the other two members of the team did really well there with art assets and putting things together. And the basic gist is like an evil wizard who's been turning people into goblins, and the only cure is sold at this cafe that you work in, and you've been hired by the corrupt owner to manage it and just make him money. And he's like, make me $1,000 or something in X amount of time, or else you're fired. And that's pretty much your goal. And you got 10 days to make that work, and you fail. You either win or you fail.
Cool. So I've got it up on. I've got Fraser's stream up there. Love the look. I love the opening, like this whole thing. It just catches. It catches what it is. Like you've got. So around the side, this reminds me of like the Warner Brothers cartoon thing. So it's immediately telling me something about what the game is. The style just works really well. It's got personality. It tells me what the game is as soon as I look at it.
We had a great artist, and we were able to really build around her style. And that was, who was that? This sort of that was Yvette. She was really good at drawing she's really good at character art, actually, and then she did really well at the sort of 50s rubber hose style. We're like, oh, why don't we make the cafe a 50s, diner kind of thing?
lean
And
into
sort of
your
built
strengths.
from that aspect.
I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so good. It has been quite a while since I played last, so I might jump into the tutorial.
Oh yeah,
That's-
it's on by default. Keep it on.
I see,
We
I see. Yep.
we definitely had a lot of focus on this tutorial, and there is some moments where it doesn't quite work, but it was a big part of it.
So the art is probably A1, I'd say here. I mean, I think, this is pretty much, professional quality, professional level. I don't think you could really do too much to improve this. I mean, you can argue I'm wrong, but, I don't think you need a high level of art to succeed.
No, especially something like this too. Like,
Does this have
it's-
sound? Does this have sound? Or...
yeah, this has got a little dark track behind it, setting the
I've got it quite low because otherwise I will lose any ability to
Yeah, that's okay.
function.
leave it low. Leave it low.
Okay.
And I love the design of our owner. It is very representative of someone in the real world.
Because one of the questions I've definitely got, as someone who has, created games and released them and what have you, what is it that actually makes a successful game? This is one of the things I'm always thinking about. What is it? Because you can have great games that don't succeed, and that's really unfortunate. You can have crap games that actually succeed quite well. So one of the questions I'm always asking is, what makes a successful game?
What is that sauce?
All
Fun
right.
and engaging.
What's that?
Fun and engaging, like Goat Simulator.
So number one,
I would argue-
I'm going to crucify
Sorry,
you for using that F word. Engaging is enough. Yeah, fun. I like Rust. Rust's not fun. Hurt me.
I would
hurt
argue
me personally.
presentation, like how you present how you present your game as a whole. How players are introduced are kind of probably one of the biggest things in my mind.
One of the things, there was a research paper I read a couple of weeks ago, and it looked at reviews. These were particularly mobile games. Looked at the reviews versus revenue, and the quality of reviews was not necessarily in line with the revenues,
Yeah,
which is
right.
interesting. Yeah, so it's not always necessarily what players think is the better game that actually is the most successful.
Hmm.
Make of that what you will. I'm not necessarily saying you should aim at just making money.
Yeah, the mobile space is quite a lot different from like the PC and console space. The approach
True.
is, it definitely feels like more of a modern day pokey sort of experience,
Ooh.
like with Clash of Clans and some of those pay to win titles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
So- Just shifting the conversation to what we're looking at, I just want to highlight the thing of, we tried to do a lot of show don't tell, but we found the time constraints on doing it was really hard to design for, and we just went heavily into the tell because there was sort of too much design, like too many like menus, as you're seeing, to sort of get people right into it. And I always wonder how well this sort of worked, or whether it's sort of too much for people on.
what you're saying is 100% correct, though. Like, to get that show don't tell is this. I think that's where a lot of studios or development teams fall down, because they don't realize just how long that process in itself takes. It's probably I don't know, maybe a good 20% on top of your development time frame.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about right actually. Pretty much 20% of our time was trying to develop how to teach people how to play this game through this sort of extensive you know, text box system. We tried to make it fun and easy to read with like highlighted words like prod and place and remove, like simple things. What we're not seeing on the stream is the cursor. The cursor, I guess, is just on the player's screen, but that's an actual like a rubber hose 50s hand. Like think of Mickey Mouse's hand, and that sort of pokes and points and prods as you do stuff around. So we were trying to inline. Oh, we can see it now.
There it is.
All right.
So we were trying to like have that in line with the instructions, so it was a bit more clear.
So what are you doing, Fraser?
I am potentially making upgrades to the cafe.
Mm-hmm.
I believe each thing will have a different sort of benefit. Can I? Not enough money. Put down a couple of tables. I don't remember if there was a specific. Yes, that's right. Okay. Start day. It's your first shift. Try not to screw up, eh? I've set up magical red markers to show you what needs doing throughout the day. If you're ever lost, follow the red markers. Now we just have to wait for a customer. Here comes one now.
We get a little bit of volume because there was it does help sort of direct around, and the music sets the tone of the game as well. I think.
How's that? Is that coming through?
Yeah, that is.
Right. Hello, you're glowing red. Check your docket route to see what customer has ordered. Eggs on toast. Nudge the chef in his bar into gear. Cool. That's you. And then I remember they have abilities.
Yeah, the abilities was nowhere near fleshed out, and there's no sort of tutorial on how to use them. You just click them, and they'll do different things once you're sort of up and running.
Oh, did I forget how this works? Is that not you?
Hover over the eggs.
Ah, the eggs
Yeah,
specifically.
there you go.
That's right.
Yeah, you
Thank
go
you.
over the food.
Mm. Holding hover over him to highlight the matching docket, then hovering over that docket will help us find the customer. So I can hover over him and then hover over this. Right, so that highlights the docket. This tells me it's eggs on toast, which tells me it's this guy.
Yeah, it took so long to sort of figure out how to show the player, because as soon as there's more than one person, you forget who's ordered what. But which is definitely part of the design of a cafe as well. Like you've got to just remember who ordered what a lot of the times if you don't have access to the docket. But we just tried to make that as real life as possible, I guess. You know, look at the docket. Where's it going?
Yeah, it's a shame. I feel like the red indicator sort of takes away that want for me to be checking the docket. I'm like, well, I'll just click what's bouncing at me.
Yeah, that's funny you said that, because without the red marker, like 80% of all our tests, they didn't really get. They would get immediately lost and not get anywhere, which is funny. So for this project, we elected to have it in. I do kind of agree though, because it's very hand-holdy in the sense, but at the same time, it's kind of very helpful when there's 6 dockets up.
Yeah,
but then you sort of fall into the gamer vision, like gamer tunnel of your task orientated vision, where it's just like click, click, red marker, click, 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 and you don't really focus on what you're doing.
Is that a sausage? Oh, it's coffee. It's a coffee bean dancing up there.
It's a coffee bean, yeah. A little dance. Yeah, we wanted to make all the actions, because it's just a click-based game, we wanted to make all the actions be a little, kind of funny and fun. So there's little animations for each action, and the coffee bean for the chef hat for the chef.
Mm-hmm.
I know this really kicked off.
Yep.
Reminds me of a
Nice
Friday
latte.
night
Yep,
of-
you're good.
Reminds me of a
Wow.
Friday night at a pizza bar.
Yeah. Well, we were going for stress, and we got stress, so I do count this one as a success.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely stress.
And
So you're saying it was
If you
a
can
vet-
remember, start clicking the abilities as well, the power buttons, and it'll speed you up and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
that looks painful.
No, that's just
Looks like he's just set
efficiently
himself
working.
on fire.
Yeah, he did. It's got to make him cook faster.
Hey,
Whoa.
what was that?
Pancakes.
That was
okay,
instant
okay,
orders.
so- Go, 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 go. Everyone go, go, go.
So Charlie, you were saying, so was it Yvette who did the art?
Yeah, Yvette and Danielle. So we had two artists. Yvette was the character artist.
Okay. And do you know what? Are you guys still in touch? Do you know what they're doing these days?
Not with Yvette. I am with Danielle. Every now and then I help her out on. Actually, I haven't for a couple of months now, and I've been meaning to check in, but help her on her own little game, because she's sort of making one, and she's a designer, not a coder.
Right.
So I try to help out where I can. But I think they're both finishing up this semester, or have just finished.
Oh, they're still studying. They hadn't
Yeah.
finished this time. Oh, okay. Because when did you finish? Middle of
Feels like so long ago
2023.
now.
2023
Was it?
or T2 2024? No, it would have been
Maybe
20.
T2 20. No, it would have been
maybe-
2023, because
Yeah.
then I had a job for. I actually don't know. Time. I haven't been keeping track of it, Chris. I've just.
I think it was
I've left my
2023.
schedule behind. Yeah, end of 2023 sounds right.
All right, I'm gonna go with the. Oh well, yeah. Sorry. I'm gonna go with the same stuff. I think I want to spend some
Yeah.
money on the layout.
Good choice at the start. So
and
the
it's-
tables. So there's a customer satisfaction thing in there, which is explained in the wall of text at the start. And the tables have the customers, not get as cranky as quick. The floor is just a straight speed upgrade for your waiter, and the benches have to do with the speed of cooking and making coffee.
I'd love to get that, but I think I've only got 120, right? And that's
Oh, yeah, 130.
So that's a shame. Maybe I will just go with the floor upgrade for now.
Bouncing baby.
Bouncing baby boy blue. Good
Okay.
choice.
What do we got? 2 food orders and a drink order.
I really like that we had the time as well because we had dedicated artists to do this, to make individual sprites for all our items. And I think there's over potentially, I think about 60 items or so, 40 to 60, I want to say,
Wow.
between
It's-
food and drink. So they all show up in their individual little sprites. Some of them are a bit scaled funny, but yeah.
It's quite helpful though. Now, yeah, I think the first time I played it, it was very much just hitting the red markers, but being able to check the order and know what I'm waiting on for each person, especially while it's just sort of one at a time. Knowing
Sort of
it's just
piccolo
one
and
drink and
confidence.
one
Yeah.
food. I'm not having to press the barista again.
This really looks fun.
Yeah, and funnily enough, I learned a really good way of layering sprites after this project because I was really sad that I could never see how his plate's going behind the table there. I was really sad that I could never figure that out during this process.
What was the big secret to doing that?
Oh, wasn't it? It was just make a script to handle it. I was trying to do it by layering sprites all in the correct layers and stuff, but it turns out you can just automate it easily enough.
Okay.
And just attach your single script that checks depending on what axis you want it to be ordered on, and it updates sprites accordingly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've
There you
got that in
go.
the back pocket for other projects.
That's why you get paid the big bucks these days, because you've got that experience now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that is, look, experience is a lot when it comes to coding. 2 years
Absolutely,
experience.
it's just time. I wouldn't say I'm a smart person or a genius or in any way, but it's time. It's the more time I spend doing things, I just become familiar, and I just sort of recall things.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, that's better how to do it next time.
I used to put together my little set of functions, like a little function library that did things in automatic, and you could just pull from that and just sort of do things.
Yeah,
otherwise
I literally
take a long
have that.
time.
Yeah.
We might have to wrap up now. I can see you're pretty keen, Fraser, to keep going. But,
Yeah, I really
we
wanted to. I was just gonna get this. I'm broke. I'm fucked.
Not enough money.
Wait, I thought I just earned $90. Oh well. I guess my cafe is a bust.
Yeah, the owner comes in and he skims off the top every day because he's a cheeky devil.
Gosh, can't even let me invest in upgrades for his cafe.
No. Yeah, it's very tipped against you. But once you get to like day 9, day 10, like the end game, you can afford all those things, and I think it looks really fun. Like all these assets look really good in the scene in the game. Shame we couldn't get to them, but yeah.
I'd love to see a mobile.
Out.
I'd love to see a mobile version.
Yeah, like I always think about that now, and I think I do want to try and hit up the old people of making it and see what their thoughts are. Even if they didn't want to do it, I might even just have a poke around myself.
Yeah, I think. Well, the fact that we had to drag Fraser off it, I mean, that kind of says it all. If you're going to drag people away from a game, then that's a really good sign.
Yeah, that's good. And like I was sitting here, criticizing it pretty harshly on how I think some things are. But I guess if people enjoy it, they enjoy it.
I forgot I was on stream. I think it must have been the pressure of playtesting it when I did. But without that pressure, it was just I really got into it.
Cool, nice. All right, well, keep an eye out. Cafe Tactics coming to an app store near you somewhere. So. Nice. All righty. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up there. It's 5 o'clock. Yeah, on the dot.
Oh, on the dot.
Wrap
Nice.
it up there. Yeah, and I guess we will be back next. I don't know, Sam and Charlie. I don't know whether you guys are free next
I'm
week,
good.
but if you are, welcome to join.
Yeah, Thursdays are a pretty good day for me, so I'll probably say yes again.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm good.
Alrighty. How do I share my screen? Close stream. There we go. Alrighty, everyone. We will catch you guys same time. 3:30 next Thursday. Catch you guys later.
Sounds good. See ya.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya.